This is Kathy Beal of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the week of August 10, 2020. We have a very hectic week ahead. Powerful energies are coming to a head. Situations are coming to a head. And we are in many an instance of adjusting, evaluating our options, figuring out what we want to do. We are very definitely grappling with, from many directions, the ongoing destabilization of the ground beneath our feet, the surfacing of secrets and toxicity and psychological disorders coming to the surface, corruption, crime, power moves, abuse of power. And I'm talking on a micro level as well as macro. Viewpoints are flipping. We have many choices, and we are taking action. Tread lightly. Everyone is combustible right now. Everyone, everything. We are in territory where the tiniest spark can turn into a conflagration. I'm thinking of a scene in might have been a Looney Tunes cartoon, a Merry Melodies cartoon, some kind of mid-20th century cartoon where a sculptor has a hammer and a chisel, and he's chiseling a block of marble, and suddenly the whole thing just falls into pieces. That's the energy that's in the air this week. We come into it with a long-distance view still fresh in our minds. The long-distance perspective that we got last week, the broad view, long view, sitting in the tree and looking down at action, emotional distance. Hang on to that. The week starts with a complete flip in how we view something. Startling information, shocking information, awakening information, liberating information. Mercury and Uranus, the two rulers of our mind, clash. There's a thunderclap. Something clears. Something tilts. A switch flips. The way we look at something goes whoop. We're suddenly on our heads. Whatever this is has the probability of being personally phenomenally liberating. You could look at something and go, wow, I don't have to play the game the way I have been playing it, or wow, I have just been let off the hook. And in that regard, I will slip in something that has been coming up in client sessions a lot lately, which is current circumstances, the shutdown, the pandemic, the pile up of energies at the end of Capricorn, slowing everything down. All of these have basically given us a massive excuse to say no. And whatever that does, whatever we say no to, however our minds open, however the information flips things, however we're shocked, whatever the startling development is, startling developments are, they send us into a series of choice points. The recurring aspect of the week is an inconjunct or a quincunx, which looks like a seesaw, and you have to adjust in some way. And the adjustments all involve our concept of ourselves and how we communicate. Communication, thoughts, data flow, information flow. There could be adjustments in social media, adjustments and choices in how we're going to interact with both the cluster of energies at the end of Capricorn, which are restructuring our sense of reality. Basically, institutions, foundations, goals, what makes us feel safe and secure. Also, government and authority, so we're adjusting something in our relationship to that. And also adjustment aspects to Neptune, the most amorphous influence in the sky. Neptune is the cosmic fog machine. It is the most enlightened, loving, compassionate, divine, inspirational influence in the sky, but it also brings escapism, delusion, lies, deceit, and you can thank him for hashtag fake news. So we have to make choices about what's real and what's not real. Do we choose compassion? Do we choose love? Do we look at something and say that is a pile of hooey? And all of these choices, all these choice points, all of these adjustments litter the week. They are in force from the 11th until the 16th. And in the middle of this, we have explosive demands for action. Mars, the planet of push, the god of war, the ruler of our drive, ambition, the masculine force, slams into Pluto, lord of death and rebirth. Now, Mars is on a journey of making this harsh, action-demanding contact to all of the bodies at the end of Capricorn. And this goes on. It's hot and then slightly less hot and then slightly less hot until the end of December. So this is the first wave of the clashes. He hit Jupiter, the planet of expansion and indulgence, last week. This week, the square is exact to Pluto. Now, remember, this involves the potential for anger, for violence, for pent-up hostilities, finding expression, forcing action. Everyone and everything is combustible. Keep your eye on your own personal priorities, your own personal bottom line. You can use this to blast through and make progress on long simmering reconstruction or projects in your own life. Be aware that there will be lots of skirmishes going on in your environment and a lot of people inviting you to a battle. It is your choice whether you engage. Here's the story arc again. Last week brought distance and objectivity. This week starts with bam, information or thoughts or epiphanies, moments that change how you're locked into something or not, startling information that frees you or frees a situation somewhat, and then puts you to a series of adjustments. It's in the middle of those that this force, these cosmic hands shoving forward for action, get really, really intense. You can run this gauntlet. You can work this energy to your benefit. Keep your wits about you. Remember what is most important to you. And really, really listen to the homing thought of the week, which is pick your battles. The song of the week, Randall Thompson's choral arrangement of the Robert Frost poem, The Road Less Traveled. And the image of the week is a wrecking ball making contact with the wall of a building that it is beginning the process of knocking down. You will get a timetable and a great understanding of what Mars is up to for the rest of the year in my talk, Action Figures, which is available at my site, empowermentunlimited.net, where you can sign up for my mailing list and book a session with me. You'll find lively discussion on Facebook at Empowerment Unlimited and the group, the Astro-Insight Lounge. Also, lots of bonus content at patreon.com/Kathy Beal. And I'm really grateful to the people who are keeping my work going there. I've got all kinds of stuff on Instagram at @KABeal, and I'm on YouTube at The Professional Aquarian Channel. Talk to you next week.